Hello, everybody. I'm Robert Hawes, CEO and founder of Bacillium Research, and today we're taking a quick look at like a prototype application for a product. I've always like thought about these things as far as like you have this like central location you can ask any question about your entire business, and then boom, you have a story being told to you. You have nice visuals because I'm a visual person. Like if I can see it, it just clicks in my mind a lot better. And if I'm able to interact with that visual data, then it's just like the icing on the cake. So I was like, I wonder how hard it would be to build something like this. And generative UI isn't new. Like it's a concept that's been around for a long time, and there's some stuff out there you can use already. Like I think some of the stuff inside of like ChatGPT and Claude already have like generative UI in it. I just wanted to build it myself. That's pretty much it. So essentially, here, this is from the mindset of maybe you're like a small local business, or even like a medium-sized business in like a small town somewhere. It doesn't have to, this might not be something that like large enterprises use directly, because essentially you have to like give access to all the local files for your entire business. And so for a large enterprise, this might not be realistic. What is realistic, though, is the same capability, but whoever develops this type of product will basically have the orchestration system behind it that's driving all this business intelligence gathering. They'll basically create automatic integration points to most standard business operational software, right? So then, once they deploy this into the environment, the user is blind to all of the connections, all of the integration, and instead you just have this application here. But this leads into an interesting concept I literally just had in my mind. So like, if we go full AI pilled, and we're looking at like a future of like, agents autonomy inside of a enterprise, like, are we just gonna have a bunch of agents just constantly like broadcasting like, hi, I'm here, on the network, and then they also listen at the same time. So like just like client server communication, right? So the agents, like one agent's broadcasting like, hi, I'm available, I provide X data, or at X capability. And then if you go buy a new orchestration system and you just drop it on the network or your environment, and it starts listening and receiving all these broadcasts from the existing agents, there could be like this like autonomous agent like workforce, like literally a workforce. It's like there's queues, there's oh, that's a crazy idea, but it'd be super cool though if you think about it. Like, let's say you're responsible for like customer success, and your business already has like 50 different agents and a whole bunch of orchestration systems, and they're all working together for your customer success department in your business. And then but other agents and other departments they're all communicating on this like whole network setup, like broadcasting their capabilities, and then also creating queues and waiting and listening for instructions to happen. There would have to be like a layer somewhere where there's like authentication. What agent has the rights to send a job to this type of agent waiting, that's available for work. I don't know. It's just a side crazy idea I just had, but that would be really cool to create. You basically just recreate the entire business, but just make it into a factory instead of just having one or two or three orchestration systems. You create the ability to eliminate a lot of overhead for orchestration, and instead you're just focusing on the management aspect of agents that are able to perform autonomous actions across the business. That would be interesting to see. But either way, let's dive back into this generative GUI. Let's see. Let me dive in here real quick. So, essentially, like in my mind, like you can just ask a question, and then it like just gives you information back. So like, let's ask like, how is the business doing this quarter? And this actually takes a few minutes to run. Like I said, this is just a prototype, but you could probably like solve this maybe like with finer granularity when it comes to specific tasks for subagents and parallelization, right? So if you really want to go crazy, you should probably spin up like 50, 60, 70 agents and like short-lived agents, right? These subagents, these aren't long running. Um, but yeah, but you can see here like the planner is Opus. Opus says, hey, we need six renderers. So essentially, we're going to create 4 sonnets and 2 haikus. So let's see what all it creates for us. So revenue is up to like, what is this, $3 billion, $3 billion or something, I don't know. Gross profit about 1.5 billion. Looks like it's going up a little bit. Net new AAR by business unit in January to March 2025. Let's see. Stellar Devices 128 million. Stellar Logistics 99 million. All business units posted positive net new ARR Q1 2025. Stellar Devices leads at 128 million. That's pretty cool. See, revenue by business unit. Let's see. That is insane. 1.2 billion. Revenue by region. North America, EU, APAC, Latin, 1.6 billion, 1 billion, 700 million, 300 million. Pretty cool. I should probably add like a way to tell if it's done rendering everything. Oh wait, yeah. See, speaking of it, there's even more stuff that just got rendered. So let's see, what is this? Cash runway, 12.7 billion. Debt, 18.1 billion. Working capital, 5.3 billion. Interesting. Is that 3B or 3.8? I think that's 3B. Customer health. What is this? ARR weighted by health score bucket. At healthy. Okay. At risk, 152 million. Critical, 45 million. So I guess critical is like 30 enterprise accounts, 19 healthy. What just got updated again? Oh, they added something at the top. Oh, there we go. There's a pop-up drawing the conclusion. Okay, so maybe I really need to fix how that works. But this is pretty neat though. So you got your revenue, gross profit, net new ARR, operating margin. Let's see what else we got here. Did it finish building the conclusion? Oh no, it's still drawing the conclusion. Okay. Well, I guess it finished. I really need to add that. Let's see. So you have 30 enterprise accounts, 19 healthy, 8 at risk, 3 critical. That's pretty cool. So it tells you like, I guess the 70s, 40, 69, and 40, those are like weighted systems, like a ranking. Let's see. Q1 2025 revenue grew 5.1% QOQ to 3.9 billion with stable margins, while net new ARR remained robust at 365 million. Is that the same up here? Net new ARR 365 million. Cool. I just want to make sure it's like doing math right and it's like not just fabricating a bunch of random numbers. That's what everyone talks about. They're always like, oh, it fabricates all these numbers. Okay, this is pretty cool. So we got this little like visualization walking through like, how is the business doing this quarter? So let's see. Let's ask a question. Let's ask about this. So can you expand on what those at-risk critical accounts are, and do we have any customer support data that could help us resolve those accounts and make them healthy again. So we'll just ask the question. And then we wait. So we wait some more time for it to come back. I don't know. So like we talked a little bit earlier about a crazy side tangent of like, you know, what the future, the total AI pilled future might be, where you have, you know, essentially a bunch of agents just, or maybe like it won't be every agent who's broadcasting their capabilities. You might have like isolated orchestration systems, but there's going to be one agent in that orchestration system that's kind of like the capability broadcaster, right? And so they're going to be responsible for broadcasting their capability to all the other orchestration systems in the environment. And then they're also going to be responsible for like authentication, queuing, and everything else. So they're like the one agent that's isolated that keeps all the other agents in that orchestration system kind of like safe from a direct attack per se. But maybe there might be like first, second, third, fourth layer indirect attacks. Who knows? I think that's interesting though, if you think about like what that could look like in the future when it's fully autonomous, and you know, us humans aren't having to do everything anymore, and you know the agents are just running around and doing all those tasks we used to do. Let's see. I have no idea if it finished loading. Probably not, but let's take a look at some of this stuff. Oh yeah, see, even as I was talking, there was more stuff here. So we got what was our original question here? Can you expand on what those at-risk critical accounts are, and do we have any customer support data that could help us resolve those? Oh yeah, that's right. Resolve those accounts back to a healthy standard. So Mayo Clinic, for us, it's 18.5 million. It doesn't show the health score, or is the health score 28? Okay, yeah. So we probably should just have it fix this. But risk factors, feature gap, renewal deferred, support escalations, expansion stalled, feature gap, billing dispute, declining usage, renewal deferred. Account manager, David Kim, Karim Patel, and Anna Schmidt. All right, business unit. I have no idea what these terms mean. I guess it's the organization of where they're operating out of. Let's see. For total, though, there's only 4 at-risk accounts. There's 1 critical account. AR at risk, 69 million. 6 support tickets in the last 90 days. Let's see. Risk factor occurrences across 4 at-risk accounts. Health score less than 50. Feature gap and renewal deferral are the leading systemic issues. Okay, so like, if I was a business leader and I saw this and I was like, okay, there's probably more intelligence you need, but in a future where the AI is so smart and we're trusting it all encompassing, I mean, if I was a business leader and I was looking at this, I'd be like, oh yeah, it makes sense. But that's interesting. Okay, so then we dive into like, what was this again? Risk factor occurrences across 4 at-risk accounts. Health score less than 50. Feature gap and renewal deferral are the leading systemic issues. Okay, so from there I would say, okay, yeah, we can see that. Feature gap, renewal deferred. There must be some type of like customer support data here. We're just assuming the systems work 100%. And we would then, as a business leader, say, okay, look into solving this and we need to figure this problem out. What's the next thing we have? So support signal from at-risk accounts. Oh, perfect. Okay, I was just talking about this. So like, there has to be a way for us to, you know, see what this even means. Ticket category breakdown, at-risk IDs. I assume this is like some type of a support ticket thing that you would use for like IDing incoming support messages. Have no match in support records. Portfolio-wide distribution shown as proxy. Okay, well, clearly this is a breakdown in business. We need to make sure that this is fixed. So then we could be like, hey, if there is something bad, we need to be able to see why. But as a business leader, this is good though. So, we know that, hey, there's no match in support records. Why is this the case? Answer me this question. Tell me, how come I don't have this visibility to see why? Technical, billing, onboarding, feature requests, 57 tickets across 4 categories, no direct ID overlap between at-risk accounts and support records. Technical issues 47% and billing disputes 21%, dominate and align with top risk factors, feature gap, billing dispute. Seen in the at-risk cohort. Okay, so I guess the system, the AI, figured out so if most of these support ticket entries are related to technical issues, maybe there's a lot of people complaining about feature requests, and then a lot of people are having billing disputes. So then that leads into renewal deferred because they're having billing dispute issues and the support tickets, but then also technical issues because maybe the application is not working or your product that you're selling to customers isn't working as intended. So that makes sense. So that actually makes sense. And then you also have billing dispute down here, declining usage. There's some other things as well too. Let's see. So CSAT at-risk accounts, 4.32 portfolio average. CSAT baseline at-risk accounts have no match ticket history in the data set portfolio wide. Shown as baseline, a dedicated at-risk filter requires ticket customer ID alignment. Okay, so this is good information. So as a business leader, you would know hey, the system was not able to determine a proper output because we're missing data. This is a good thing. So then you just have to go into your business operations and talk to those agents and tell them, hey, fix yourself, make sure we have the proper data so that these other systems work. Or maybe you just talk into the chat app here. Right, maybe we have a little pop-up where we can right click and say, hey, / command to perform, and say hey, fix this problem. And then this system here has full authority to then submit that organizational wide request, and it goes out and does it all. I think that would be pretty cool. That would be neat. Let's see, what is it? Average resolution time by priority. Okay, so let's see. Criticals get closed, I guess, what is this, in 5 hours? Highs get closed in about 12. Mediums get closed in about 9.5. And lows get closed within about 15 hours. So P3 tickets average 14.4 hours, slower than P1, P2, suggesting low priority backlog accumulation at risk accounts, likely filling P2, P3 tickets that linger unresolved. Interesting. Okay, so all right, I'll circle back to that in a second. Feature gaps and renewals, deferrals concentrate 69.2 million at risk. Proactive QBRs and accelerated product roadmap reviews unlock retention. The ARR and risk concentrates in accounts showing declining engagement and deferral renewals, not product churn, but engagement friction that supports response times and QBR cadence can reverse. Okay, well that's pretty cool. Let's I wonder if this is able to pull up some actual support ticket information. So can you please show me some examples of the messages in the support tickets? I want to understand what their experience is like in the P2 and P3 categories. I have no idea if the data's there, but if it is, it's pretty cool. So we'll wait and see a few seconds. While this is loading, let's go ahead and circle back to kind of the idea of the whole what the future looks like when these agents, and the biggest thing is trust, right? There's so much reliance on this trust factor of like, how do you make this, how do you, if you hear AI, do you feel trusting, I guess is the question, right? Like, do you feel like you can put your trust into an AI system? And there's a lot of stuff out there that's, fighting against it with like some examples you'll see on social media. But I think it's important that, as time progresses, there's always going to be that friction, right? There's always going to be that, I used to be on that side too. I used to be on the other side of the fence where like it was like, nah, this AI stuff's not that good. I tried to build some stuff, but something happened, and now it's just, it really works really well. And so my trust now, because I've learned how to build these orchestration systems, I've learned how to try to deal with some of the trust factor of results, that my trust level has naturally increased for these systems. But it seems like this is already loaded, so let's take a look and see what we have. So the dataset contains only structured ticket metadata, no message bodies, what we can analyze, category, agent, resolution time, and satisfaction scores. Okay, so maybe it's compliance reasons we don't store the actual messages. We probably would want to. I have no idea why they're not there. This is all just corporate sample data created by Claude to demo and use this application. Let's see. P2 tickets 22, P3 18, P2 average resolution 9 hours, P3 is 14 hours. P2 ticket samples, what customers we're dealing with. So we can see some of the customers here. These I don't think are any of the customers that were actually referenced that were at risk. So I don't know why they're here, but let's see category billing, onboarding, technical billing. Okay, we see who was talking to them, how long it went, and then a CSAT score. Is this customer satisfaction? Is this what that is? Customer satisfaction? I have no idea what a CSAT is. Let's see. Dunder Mifflin. Okay, that's an interesting business. But let's see. P3 ticket samples, lower urgency. There's technical billing, onboarding, feature requests. Okay, so billing, onboarding. What is this for? This is like a worst experience technical tickets, P3 average 3.0 score. Okay, so it didn't actually draw the number on the thing, so we'll probably have to figure that out. But all right, let's see. So I think the most important thing out of this is that none of the original people are actually in this image. Oh yeah, and this is the kind of like the work through, right? So like, I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but like with like ChatGPT and like Claude, you have your like sessions on the left side, and you can like go back and forth between your chats. I wanted to create something like that as well for this tool. So like you could like, just click this journey thing. Right, this journey map. And you can like go back in time and like, spawn a different question somewhere else, right? So I think it's pretty neat. But like I'm pretty sure none of the, like, what is it, Mayo Clinic, Walmart, JP Morgan, Chase, Microsoft Corporation, or maybe, yeah, they should be in there because their health score is so low. And it's, what's the average resolution time? So yeah, so let's see if we go back to here. None of those companies are in here. Now, why is that? Let's see. Let's go back here and ask another question. Let's see. Can you please show me more details about exact friction points and data that we have about these customers who are at risk using our data we have available from all client interactions. Let's see if that works. And so that's going to start planning. I have no idea if I can use the journey thing as it's planning. I haven't tried that yet. It might break. Let's see. What does this look like? Ah, it works. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, so like yeah, you can just come up here, like take a little tree. You start out with your question. If you want to come back later, say like, hey, build me a report out of this or something. I guess you could, but this is going here. This is the one we asked before, but for some reason like none of the Microsoft accounts or any of the other ones were in here. And it even shows you what you asked. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So like, that's neat. It figured out that that's important for us to be able to see there. Okay. Yeah, it's still planning the view. Let's see. So like we were thinking about earlier as we're waiting for this is like this whole future and trust in these AI systems and all this stuff. I think it's important to realize that the capability to achieve a lot of this stuff is already here. It's just a matter of trying to envision and then create that vision, right? So that's why I'm doing a lot of this prototyping stuff is like, I have all these crazy ideas, and I'm sure other people have like crazy ideas too, but now you can like build those and like see them come to life. Like that, that's insane. Being able to sit there and like, create all this capability. All right, let's see. It's just showing similar data. So this is probably an issue because of the type of data we have available to us. So if you're a business and you were trying to ask questions, see, once again, no product usage records found. So declining usage and deferred renewal is the single largest exposure. Let's see, like Microsoft Corporation, declining usage, renewal deferred, account managers. Same thing we've seen before. Product engagement decay, at-risk counts. No product usage records found for the 4 at-risk customers. Their customer IDs do not appear in the product usage dataset, which covers IDs C001 through C030. Usage telemetry may be missing for these accounts, which itself is a churn signal. Absence of engagement data for highest rate accounts should be escalated for investigation. Oh, okay, well that's good. So I guess it's not totally bad. It was able to say like, hey, like, there's no data here, and because there's no usage data, that probably means they're going to stop using our product. Now I wonder how I could get the system to like automatically tell me that information. Like, hey, put these 2 and 2 together in a much easier way. Because there's a lot of people out there who want to start businesses, and they might not necessarily be like super business experts. But if we can build a system that can, recreate, business experts, well then, kind of makes that barrier to entry to starting a business and running it successfully a lot easier. Which we should be pretty close to. Like, I imagine someone who has like years and years of experience in business would be able to create an orchestration system that can have that information, right? So let's see, what else do we have here? Support friction, we've seen that before. Payment friction, total receivables by aging bucket, Microsoft 120 plus tranche. Alone 8.4 million of 9.6 million critical. 120 plus days. I guess we haven't been paid 9.5 million. 31 to 60 days, 2 million. Current, 3 million. 1 to 30 days, 1.2 million. 61 to 90 days. I don't even know how to read this. So what does this even mean? I'm not a business person. I have no idea. But usage decline is a common thread driving at-risk status, but it's compounding in the deferred renewals and payment aging. These accounts need stimulus products, intervention, and commercial reset to stabilize exposure this quarter. Okay, so I imagine if you're a business person and you're reading this probably makes sense. Um, but yeah, this is pretty cool stuff. I mean, I just wanted to create like a demo example of like a generative UI uh, that could tell a story. There's probably a better way to tell the story than how this is, but for a simple like 1 2 hour project, I mean, this isn't bad. Like, it's not bad at all. You know, like I just went from like, went to Claude and I was like, hey, hit spacebar, speak for like 10 20 seconds, and then, out pops a product, and you just sit there and go back and forth with it. Um, yeah, it's pretty cool. I really like this here, like being able to like go back and forward and figure stuff out. That's pretty cool. Like, you can come back here, ask a different question, and get a new branch on the tree created. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, if you're trying to build similar stuff, definitely let me know. I'm curious what kind of challenges you're facing and problems you're having. But once again, my name is Robert Hawes. I'm the CEO and founder of Obsidian Research, and this was kind of like a simple prototype, 1 to 2 hour prototype to see like, hey, does this work? How does it work? And you know, is it possible? And it seems like it's for the most part pretty possible. But I wish you all the best, and thank you for watching.